As that community continues to mourn, pressure is building on lawmakers now to act, from flood warning systems to longer-term solutions. What are state and federal leaders actually saying and what might come next? Fox's Stephen Dial reports.
With more than 150 people still missing and the community coming here to this flower wall to pay their respects, the conversation will soon turn to what lawmakers will be doing on the state and federal level.
If we could step in a time machine and go back to 2 in the morning on July 4th, all of us would run to those little girls' cabins and we'd say, get out now, let's go to higher ground. If we could do that, and an alarm may well, a siren may well have woken people up and made them realize, I've got to get somewhere with higher ground.
What involvement do you think the federal government should have in helping to prevent things like this from happening?
We're already looking at things we might do in Congress to support the efforts of the various states, because floods don't just happen in the central Texas. They happen around the country.
I think it's making sure that we have the technology and are taking advantage of the technology. But from what I understand, I've been talking to a lot of these people today, and from what I understand, even if they had gotten the news when they finally found out where their water was going to be, you were trying to outrun that river that was 26 feet in 45 minutes. And then you get into all sorts of other issues. If you've got a number of people in the car and there's traffic jams, and then they're just waiting out there in cars to be killed, to be drowned. So there's a lot of issues. I think this was a horrific natural disaster. Looking at ways that we can improve is going to be important to move forward, and I hope that that's what they do in this session.
What do you think the state needs to do to move forward to help try to prevent something like this from happening again?
I personally know probably the majority of the people from here who were killed. This is a terrible tragedy. We'll look and see. Actually, the General Land Office has started the first integrative study on river flooding and notices to that. It's actually in KRIV, which is not one of the 27 counties that flooded this time, but it's adjacent to a lot of the ones that did. But we're just going to look and see, are there ways we can do things better? But again, I think this was just a massive natural disaster that even with the warning system, I'm not sure it would have made that much of a difference, unfortunately.
And during that roundtable with President Trump on Friday, 1 week after the deadly flood happened, the lieutenant governor said that when the hearings start in the special session, there will be one here in Kerr County so that the residents won't have to travel to Austin to make their voices heard. In Kerrville, Stephen Dial, Fox News.
You can follow all of the flood recovery efforts and on the air and on Fox Local. You can find a special section on what has happened in Central Texas over the past week. Fox Local is free to download for your phone and smart TV.